Hey everybody, just like I said, it has not been 2 years this time, and I am back to do part 3 of the Spider-Gwen video. So let me see, we were here last time we left off. And let me see here. Yep, that was the review and the redraw that I didn't cover in part 1 and fixed on part 2. And now we actually get to proceed and go forward with this drawing. So, alright. Now we get into the more fun stuff where we actually get to do something with this, right? Let me see here. Okay, it is really late at night again, and you know what? I'm just gonna grab one of these. Let me see. I've been drawing with mechanical pencil on paper lately, so I'm sort of feeling the small line right now. Maybe I'll go with that. Darker pencil. See, the cool thing about darker pencil is if I choose to keep any of those lines, I don't really have to ink it. Of course, the lighter pencil always looks really nice, though. Colored pencil, but I'm not using that. Alright, I guess I'll stick with the lighter pencil for now if I want to change it up. You'll see me going up here to do so. Okay, so let's back out, see what we got. So this is our whole Spider-Gwen. And what I'm thinking is, I want to turn this eventually into a print. So, and this is 11 by 17, right? Yeah. Alright, so this is 11 by 17 at 600 dpi. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to make her considerably larger. And I'm trying to leave space for some framing all around here, but I still want her to be large, quite large on the page. There's a lot of Spider-Gwen fans out there, and we wouldn't want to disappoint them, right? Let me see. What do we think of that? That should frame nicely, I would think. Let me make sure this microphone is pointed right. There we go. Hopefully that's better. Okay, so what I'm thinking is we could take, let me see, get rid of the dotted lines real quick. Alright, let's go to the background. Where's that overlay? Okay, the overlay, I was going to put the building there, whatnot. So you know what? Let's just keep with that concept right now. Oops. Turn on my background. Go in here with a lighter pencil and say, hey. See how this would look. That's not looking too bad. Let's give it more of an angle, right? use some of those principles I was talking about in the video in part 2, where it's about the impact. See if we can make this thing go kapow instead of just That's what I think it was doing before. I think it was just doing an There wasn't really a lot of incredible movement there. Let's see. Is that quite enough? I don't know about that. Let me try another thing. Okay, I'm on another layer. I'm on the BG layer, the background. Maybe I should correctly label that for anyone watching. Speaking of which, and let me see here. A shout out to Sour Games, who 2 weeks ago asked me, did I ever finish this drawing? I'm just starting to get back into drawing, and I was following along and no part 3. Sad face, right? And then I told him I was going to get to it within the next week, which it has been now skip 1 week. So I was working on a commission, the Bexfa versus Wolverine one. And anyways, yeah, he brought to my attention the fact that somebody was actually out there watching and drawing along with what I'm doing, which is really cool, because I put these out there to, you know, to help other fellow artists like myself, and you know, somebody that just wants to get better in some way, shape, or form. And there's always something that some people can help you see that others can't. No, it doesn't even usually matter the degree of professionalism. It's just sometimes people can get across in their own way something that you'll be able to pick up on, and it just sinks in better for whatever the heck reason. And part of what made me start making these videos is the fact that a lot of people were saying, hey, you know, when you're drawing blah blah blah, it helps me to be able to pick this up. And some of them didn't even draw, but they could understand what I was doing. So it was just really interesting for them to watch. So I was like, okay, well, you know, take that and expand upon it, right? So Sour Games actually brought to my attention that yes, there is people out there. I mean, he may be the only one that spoke up, but obviously for every so many people that watch, there's going to be one that is going to represent how those other people feel. So in other words, every 10 people that watch, you might maybe get one like. For every 10 or 20 that watch, or 50, whatever it is, you might get one person that actually comments. It's that kind of thing. So yeah, that's really nice to hear that somebody's actually out there drawing along to this. So back to the drawing. Okay, so I'm messing around with the background here, trying to figure out what it is that I want to do on this piece. And I think she's large enough now on the 11 by 17, because I mean, we're gonna lose about I would just call it 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch, you know, all the way. Whoops, that was ridiculous. For the frame, I always do this anymore because I didn't do that kind of thing in the past, and I regretted it, because then when somebody goes to put a piece of art that I've done in a frame or whatever, they'll usually, like, I would sometimes sign down in here, and they'll lose that whole spot. Or if you do something like, you know, sign across the side, it's gone and nobody can even see it. So I always try to keep in mind, you know, come in at least 1/2 inch from all of this, and then do any kind of signature or whatever in that area. So that's just a general idea of where I'm going with this placement. I hope that doesn't mess up the draw along value of this. if you're not drawing digital. But you probably didn't draw it that small little thing like I had before, like that on an 11 by 17 paper if you were following along. So anyways, let's see if we can capture this whole spirit, right, of her jumping up and over this building, like what my original intention was. So I'm trying to experiment here with building placement and find out what placement of the building captures the idea of her coming up and over it like that the best. Right? So would it be like this kind of thing? Let's find out. That's not too bad. I just realized though that I am not drawing this wide enough. Any of this. Typically the ledge to a building like that is pretty huge, and I mean this is Spider-Gwen, so we're gonna assume that she does not have a 12-inch foot, more of like a dainty little foot. And so if we go by that, you figure the edge of a building is going to be pretty large. So let's just say she's coming up and over the building here. And then we're going to make it like that. See how this looks. And then we're going to start this back in here much further, because we want to give the idea that this is a very large building, and she is not a giant. That's not quite it, but I can tell that's going somewhere. Let me see. I'm going to make a new layer here, and I'm just going to try to expand upon that whole idea a little bit, and then probably delete that whole thing. So let me see. Let's say her vanishing points are here and here. I think eye level would be probably about where her knees are. So let's assume, without actually drawing it, that her vanishing points are like way the heck over here and stuff, right? So anything coming here is going to go there. Anything else that we have is going to be going back that way. So let's see here. So if we have any buildings. Buildings in the background here, where would they be going? Right. Yeah, that starts to help. That begins to make things pop a little bit more. So, and then obviously we're going to have other buildings over here. Yeah, I'm not entirely set on that. let's try another one with fewer buildings and larger. Yeah, I think this might be more of the way to go. We do more of this 2-point perspective with her coming up and over this building, and then we'll be able to toss in some other buildings back here. And then if we want, we could put all of these front ones here in the shadow. Should make all of this really dark right there. You know what? I think maybe we'll go with this idea. And then if it's no good, then, well, we'll have to start all over again, right? Trying to think here though, do we want like a setting sun back here or a moon? Or do we want to keep the light coming from this side, which would make all of the opposite sides of the buildings dark, right? I just did the face for now because it's easier for me to tell, you know, like this here area is blocked out different from that one, different from that one. So it helps me separate all of these shapes. I think maybe we'll go with this. Yeah, because this is looking pretty cool actually. I like the idea of this overlapping a little bit. Okay, so we'll call this background, what, 3? I think that was our third attempt. Oh yeah, there was the main one. There was 2. And then 3. I usually just put BG for short for background. And I think what we'll do is the horizon line is back here. So I might, for the sake of the final piece, I might just like sort of fake it and put some other buildings way back there in the background. Just to sort of add to the whole scene. Make this whole area seem very, very tall. We'll see about those. But for now, I just want to focus on the big ones here. Alright, so let's go over to Spider-Gwen. And why don't we... Yeah, I guess we could clean her up. I almost want to keep it just like this and then just do the inks over it. Let's refine her a little bit more though. It is 21 minutes already, so let's go in and refine her a little bit and see how this works. So I'm going to use soft eraser. Whoa, that's huge. There we go. And then I'm going to use for pencil, I'm still on lighter pencil, but we already have the light lines down. So I'm going to go ahead and, how big is this line? Yeah, actually I'm going to keep with light pencil for now until I know I got everything I want. Okay. So let's go ahead and look up a reference of Spider-Gwen real quick. Oh, wait a minute. What am I thinking? Never mind. I got my reference right here. Okay. Yeah, I got a statue of Spider-Gwen here. Alright, so I know you guys can't see this, but we're at 23 minutes, and I'm just going to go ahead and use this for reference because I think statues are freaking awesome, especially for reference. So if you hear me sliding something around, it's so that I make sure I get all the angles of her. Alright, so what we are after now is, let's put all the stuff in the right place. We're going to take the soft eraser, go ahead and hit the drawing. I'm going to turn off the background for now so we don't get confused by that. And then we're going to hit the drawing with the soft eraser just to the point where we can see all that other stuff going on. You know what? Let's speed this up a little bit. I'm going to make the eraser larger. I'm just going to very softly hit it. There we go. Okay. Now, since we have all the main forms of the body there, what we're going to do is we're going to take and look at our reference, and then we're going to, whatever picture you want, it could just be a picture of her standing up, anything. You can go ahead and look that up online real quick and put it in another tab. Open the two windows beside each other if you want. That's what I do. If you're running anything on Windows 7, which is what I have, and higher, you should be able to do that no problem. Just do a split screen kind of thing. And so, let's refine her lines. she's got the dark line. I'm doing a little bit of a crook line up at the top here because that's how I like to do it. She's got a little bit of a point down here. There we go. See the same thing on the other side. We're following up the eye line here, right there. And then we're going to put that same crook. And up at the top there. And I'm going to round her chin out a little bit just to soften it up a little bit so she doesn't look, you know, like maybe there's a dude wearing this mask or something. Not that there's anything wrong with that, right? Okay, then we're going to have her hood, which the air is grabbing and pulling up off of her head. We're going to do a fold there, and then we're going to bring this here. You know, I'm going to choose to go with this top one instead of this bottom one. Main reason being that this looks like, you know, air is going whoosh and balling up in here, and I like that expression better. Whoops! So we need to go to the soft eraser and turn that thing way. We'll drop that way down. There we go. Okay, so keep all the lines we want to keep, get rid of the ones we don't. That's what this step's about. There's the hood coming off the head. I think I'm going to go with this line. Yeah, that looks right. And let me see if I can draw this right. Yeah, that's pretty close. Okay. There we go. Yeah, that looks decent. Okay. Then there's her ear, right? And then this is going to go down around to the front part of her neck, which we showed before is back in here and all that. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fold some of the outside creases, because you know you're going to have like the hoodie comes up underneath like this, right? So we're just going to take some of those lines and show them back here. Like the hoodie's lifting up. Like that. Yeah, we could probably make that whole thing black, honestly. Yeah, help her head pop out a little bit. And then that'll be the front part of that. And then we'll do the same thing back here. This will all end up dark. That way we'll be able to shade into the hood there. And we'll shade back here. And this, because it's exposed to us, will be probably the lighter part. So this whole thing will end up being lined. And then we'll probably make this whole thing like that too. But we'll get to that later. Right now we just want to focus on her actual suit. So she has no webbing like Spidey. So we can go ahead and get rid of a lot of this. So we don't really need the reference lines there to help make the webbing. But I am going to leave a little bit of this center streak just in case. We might need that for lighting later, or yeah, for lighting later. So then the rest of her suit is white. All around here is going to be a little bit of a pinkish, but I'm going to probably do that in color later on. Okay, so let's go down here. Choose which ones we're keeping. Remember, I'm keeping that because it helps with the whole expression of movement deal. believe that was the line I wanted to keep from before. And then let's keep these. Shoulder. Let's keep a little bit of that collarbone. And then we could probably blacken that in. Keep a little bit of the underside of the collarbone. That is going to be facing away from whatever light is there really, so I'm just going to shade that in. And then we're going to keep that shoulder, keep that tricep, go into the elbow, into the forearm. And remember, realistically at this angle, you would not see a wrist or a forearm long like this. It'd be super tiny and boring. We're not doing that, are we? There we go. And then there's those fingers. And then one. And then two in between. And there's the pinky one. And now we're talking. And then like that. Whoops. Okay, well, we are at 31 minutes. So I will pick this up later this week. And yes, I do have some commissions, but don't get discouraged. I'm going to save that because I will be back. This one is going somewhere quickly and I need more of these for prints. Excuse me. And I will be back to work on this one most likely this week because I like to get this moving because Spider-Gwen is a pretty popular character and I want to have her in my I don't know, whatever you want to call it, my artillery of prints that I'm going to be taking to conventions and such, along with that Bexa versus Wolverine one that I recently finished. And I'll be coloring that one too on YouTube. You know, I'll be uploading those as I do that. But this one will come first because this is in the drawing stage, and then we'll pick this up from here. Oops. We'll pick this up and then we'll actually go in and use the Clip Studio Paint perspective tools. And I'll show you guys how to use that too, because man, those things are freaking awesome. So yeah, so this is where we'll leave it, and that is the end of part 3, and we'll pick up on part 4 next, most likely this week. You can pretty much count on it because it's only, this is Monday night, well, Tuesday morning now, I'm sure. But yeah, okay, thank you guys for watching and hang in there. The next one is coming really soon, and I stuck to my word. It was not 2 years between part 2 and part 3 and part 4, or part 2 and part 3. My bad. So yeah, I'll be back with part 4 later. Thanks for watching.